yeah. That way. It's your boy. Yeah. My mother, brother. That way. It's my main man talk. That way.
I guess so.
Nigga move north to Piscataway.
I guess so.
Slip save ships, seaway.
I guess so.
Somebody left a man down on the freeway.
I guess so. Blessed by the best show. Time for a nigga to get some shit off my chest. Show. Not saying got the best flow. Phenomenon. Got more.
Oh, what is good, good people? What is good, good people? Oh, yeah, we are back again with another edition of 24/7 Boxing by way of Don't Listen Podcast. And if you don't mind, would you mind? Always messed up. I just, something wrong with me, good people. I don't know what it is. But hey, we are back with another edition of 24/7 Boxing. And yes, we are still in the building. Stop playing. Stop making me laugh, okay? All right. Yes, we are back, okay? And we are here tonight to talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Mungia. What a great fight. It was a good fight. For me, I liked it. It was a great fight. And if you don't mind, would you mind subscribing to the channel? Right there. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and leave your comments down there so we can get into a discussion at the end of this video and we can get it in the mix. Yeah, because if you leave me a comment, it's a good chance that I will respond to it. So leave your comments down there and let's get busy. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Canelo Alvarez versus Mungia. I don't know if you watched the last one, but I said what I pretty much said came to fruition. And for those that have been following the podcast, you know, the brother be getting stuff right, you know what I mean, for the majority of the time, you know? And what I said was, I think this will be a good fight for Canelo Alvarez. Mungia is very experienced in himself. But I also said Canelo has been around for so long and he has so much experience in being in big fights that I think that the experience factor that he has, where the bright lights ain't messing with him, he's going to get up for every fight because he is a professional. And it pretty much went down exactly the way that I said it was. I said Canelo is just going out experience him. And you could see it in the fight. Throughout certain moments in the fight where Mungia was getting into a rhythm, Canelo would be like, no, you don't. Stop him in his tracks. You get what I'm saying? So every time he tried to mount some offense and Canelo would hit him going on the way out and initiate offense himself. And that's the experience of Canelo Alvarez with damn near 70 fights. Man, been around the block a few times where he knew how to pace himself through the fight, not over, over go, like overgo. We're going to just call it overgo. I know there's a better word to use, but overgo, he didn't like tire himself out. He did enough for almost every round. He almost won. I think he won 8 out of the 12. And that's not my scores. Was the people's score. And also had a knockdown in the 4th round. And if you don't believe me, Let's watch some video. YouTube, stop playing, okay? Stop playing, okay. So let me share my screen. All right. Look at me sitting in the corner look. I'm little, people. All right, so let's check this out. Hey. Okay. Okay. Mungia down for the first time in his career. And to me, that's what separate Canelo from Mungia in this fight, right? Because for Mungia, it's a whole lot of firsts, right? Fighting somebody of Canelo's stature, somebody that is not afraid of Mungia's size, because Mungia is very big for this division, very long, rangy, and he really didn't have to play the inside. But Canelo, he knows how to throw his punches. So when he feels you're in range, he gonna throw the right punch. And Mungia walked right into that uppercut. He went on his little tirade of punches, paka, 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 paka. And Canelo just waited. He said, "Oh, this uppercut." Right? So at the end of the day, it's not so much Mungia's style that was going give Canelo fits. It was Canelo figuring out the right time to do his offense, the right time to trade punches, the right time to go on the offensive. And he did that. He did that at a high level, because if you look at a lot of instances through this fight, Mungia offensively really was giving Canelo some work, and he was landing punches of his own. But just like the announcer said, right? When Canelo felt that Mungia was getting a little too much off, on the way out, Canelo would catch him. Canelo would catch him with all kinds of different punches on the way out. And again, initiating his own offense to stifle Mungia in his tracks, because Mungia had good flashes, good moments in the fight, just like in the beginning of that clip. It showed that Canelo got hit quite a few times, but at the end of the day, the judges is going to see the more flashy punch, the punch that did the most damage, especially going on the way out. When you're going on the way out, you're going to feel Canelo on the way out, and that's the last thing they're going to see. So a lot of times the judges get swayed in the action where you could have been touching him up 4 or 5, 6 times, and then Canelo hits you 3 times on the way out, where you scored more, but it looked better to the judges on the way out. And I think Canelo's just his wit of being in those type of mega fights, whereas a guy of Mungia, somebody else fighting Mungia in that situation, I think Mungia is taking him out. But with Canelo, it's not a style that he hasn't seen yet. It's not, Mungia couldn't present any problem for Canelo that he hasn't been through before. And for a lot of reasons, I will say this, right? Because I think whoever told, which was Freddie Roach pretty much, but when Mungia was training for this fight, it looked like what they tried to do was try to copy Bivol, because they seen that the more busy Bivol gave Canelo a lot of problems. But as the wily veteran, Canelo said, "Oh, I've seen this before. So what I'm going to do is step it up I'm not going to let you get all these flurries off without me counterpunching you, because that's what Canelo failed to do in the fight against Bivol. Excuse me. And this time he did not do that, which made for a better fight for Canelo, because Canelo saw it before, right? It's nothing he hasn't seen. So Mungia, as game as he was, because he did come to fight, and like I said, I thought it would be a tough fight for Canelo. I said that in the other video. I also said that Canelo, he's seen it all. It's nothing you're going to present him. You will have to literally overpower him to beat him. Now, let's watch some more video. How about that? Let's do that. Hopefully YouTube won't be messing with me, but let's check it out. All right. So with that being said, okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Canelo built the lead, and Mungia is, like I said, as good as he looked, because he had his moments in the fight where the barrage of punches that he was coming with just looked way better than what Canelo was doing. But Canelo know how to pace himself, and he did that very like a wily veteran. He know how to stack up some rounds and put them in the bank. And by the time Mungia started, mounting into Canelo got a little tired and mounting his offense, Mungia couldn't catch up. And like I said, in this fight, the teacher always gonna teach. And he taught a very valuable lesson to Mungia, whereas you have to take it from the champ. You have to take it from the champ. You can't be going in there thinking, oh, I'm just going to outpunch him and make him. Nah, you ain't doing that against nobody of Canelo's stature. And I think for the most part, Mungia thought he would tire Canelo out and just throw more punches and outscoring, because Canelo ain't getting knocked out. That wasn't going to happen. I don't think it was, and it didn't happen, so I was right. But at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez, Canelo Tim, and he, like I said, the wily veteran knows how to pace himself, and he won that fight just by grit. And Canelo Alvarez still is unified world super welterweight champion. And oh my God, who's that looking in my window now? Somebody now. Yeah, somebody's looking in that window. And for me, it's one guy. Just one. One guy out there that if they make this fight, I think the boxing world will stop on that day for this fight. And I think all of you know where I'm going with this, right? Del Monstro, right? Against Canelo. You know who I'm talking about. The Monstro. Yeah. David Benavidez, right? Because a lot has been talked about before about them two meeting up. And Canelo said, oh, I'm not going to fight a Mexican. You just fought a Mexican. So it can't be that, right? So I'm not saying excuses, but what I'm saying is, what are you going to do now, Canelo? We pure boxing fans like myself would love to see that fight because honestly, what are the names out there for him to fight now? Who's out there that's a shiny castle on the hill for Canelo to go move into and say, I came here. I stand here now. I am the king of this castle. Well, who owns that castle right now? It's only one guy, in my opinion. Well, two fights, I will say. I don't know if Canelo would do both of them, but it's two fights out here for me where I will say Canelo will be etched into that upper echelon of great champions. Now, his resume thus far says he should be there. No doubt about that. It's not too many guys that Canelo did not fight. He beat all the people he should have beat. And he fought against the greatest boxer, in my opinion, of that generation before him, you know, and Floyd Mayweather. But what I would say to Canelo, the way you go out will make you be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. And I think a good way for Canelo to do that is to fight none other than David Benavidez. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that is the shiny castle on top of the hill where Canelo should go and want to place his flag and say, yes, I did that. And I think that will make all boxing fans very happy because you can't say you don't fight Mexicans. You just fought one of your countrymen. So I would say to Canelo, make that fight happen. Like, I know you ain't got a whole lot left going out, but that will make boxing fans absolutely happy. It will make me happy. It will make the boxing world happy. Oh, yeah. David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. I think that's the tippity top thing he can do right now and really stake a claim on his legacy to say, yeah, I beat your best young gun. Mungia was a great setup for a guy like Benavidez. We're extremely busy, and I think David Benavidez will bring those same type of problems for Canelo. But what I will think that that will be the Canelo go do that fight and go out like that. There's nothing left for the detractors to say. Leave that fight on the table. They can say whatever they want. You're still a great fighter. You're going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt about that. But why not? Win or lose, like, why not? That's a great fight. The money has to be astronomical for both of those guys. And why not give something of yourself to the sport like you always been doing all this time, Canelo? Give the people what they want on Cinco de Mayo next year. David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez. Oh, yeah. Sign me the freak up. Pay-per-view, here you go. Take it. I might, depending on where, I might go into debt to go see that live. Oh, yeah. I might do that. Ain't no might involved. I think I could get that to happen. I don't know if I'll be sitting front row, but I'll be there. I could do that. Oh, yeah. And for, let's just say you want to put a little more sauce on top. A little bit more sauce, Canelo. If you want to do a little bit more sauce, why not take on the winner of Alter Beterbiev, and Dmitry Bivol? Ooh. Hmm. Do you smell what I'm cooking here? Imagine that, Canelo. You go out and beat the boogeyman and David Benavidez, and then fight the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, and you win that too. Oh my God. They got to put you up there with the greats. They got to then. And even if you don't, you'll still be a great. But man, that David Benavidez fight, ooh, good. Good, good. Sign me up for that. And I think everybody else will be happy too if you can make that happen. Right? So that's just my opinion on it. I would like y'all to put y'all opinion down in the comments, but don't leave just yet because we're going to do a real quick synopsis on Mario Barrios and Maidana. Real quick, because that's all I'm going to say about that fight. Real quick, because that was the co-main event, right? Now, what I would say to Mario Barrios, and I might get a little hate for this because he did win the fight, but you were fighting Maidana, that is probably in the twilight of his career, and Maidana pepper sprayed you and didn't even hit you that much. I mean, your eye looked terrible. And the lack of defense you displayed against an old fighter put you in the ring with one of these young guns out here that know how to really bang, because Maidana is in the twilight of his career. I don't think you make it through that fight. And for Mario Barrios to look as pedestrian as he did, because in my opinion, he did what he was supposed to do. You ain't supposed to lose to your grandfather. Nah, you ain't supposed to do that. You're not even supposed to lose to your dad. You ain't supposed to do that. So you did what you were supposed to do. But you made Maidana go 12 rounds with you. And he looked better than you at the end of that fight. So what does that say about you? Even though you won, you look worse than the guy that lost. And sometimes that happens in boxing, right? Styles make fights. That's what they say. But Maidana barely put hands on you, and you're swelling like that. It tells me that there's something bigger going on with you, that your defense is at a very low threshold where you letting the old guy pepper you up like that. And he ran for I don't know, the last 2 rounds it pretty much didn't even look like he wanted to fight anymore. He was just trying to get to the end. Where I'm talking about Maidana. And when Barrios was hitting him, you could see that he stung him a couple times, but it wasn't of the fear factor part in it, where Maidana felt like, if I stay in this kitchen, I'm going to get knocked out. I didn't see that. And I think against a more aggressive fighter, because it looked like all Mario Barrios was willing to do was really jab, which let him win on score, on points. And I don't think people signed up for that. And even for the Zone to make that a co-main event, I don't know if you take away from Canelo like that. Just say, here's another fight for you. Don't call it a main event. Because Maidana and Barrios, like I said in the other video, nobody's checking for that. Mario Barrios did not look good in his last couple fights. And I think Homeboy needs some more work on his defense. And I wish nothing but the best for him. Like I said, I don't want to see the brother fail or get hurt. But the amount of punishment you took against an old man like that, I will really be having second thoughts about what I'm going to do next, because I should not look, as a young fighter, look as bad as that old fighter at the end of that fight. Okay, so that's what I got on Barrios and Maidana. It was hard for me to watch, and not because, first of all, for the lack of action part, it was kind of bad, because there was a lot of circling of the ring from Maidana. I'm not even going to show none of that. And Mario Barrios, like I said, looked like he was fighting and turned into the Elephant Man at the end of that fight. The whole side of his face just, he needs some defensive work, and maybe see why you're getting all that excessive swelling around that eye, because like I said, a better fighter than Maidana, I think that fight goes a different way for Barrios, and Barrios' health is wealth. If I were you, I'll be thinking about that aspect of things, because if you're not healthy, it ain't much you can do for nobody, let alone yourself. And you didn't look good at the end of that fight, brother. So speedy recovery for you, and speedy recovery for all the fighters involved. There was a lot of other pretty good fights in the undercards on there. I would advise y'all to go and check that out. It was a good night of boxing. And yeah, that's what I got for y'all. So again, I would love to say thank all of you for watching. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, thank you all. I'm getting my podcast feet and legs underneath me again. And we're going to get back to it again very soon. We're going to have some music coming for y'all. I said I had somebody old that y'all know and somebody new. We're going to do that. It's coming real soon. Your boy back in podcast mode, still working on music too. So we still got, summertime going to be crazy. I want y'all to support the music we already put out. It's going to be wild with visuals and everything. So prepare yourself for that. And yeah, 24/7 boxing by way of Don't Listen Podcast is still in the building. Stop playing with me. God damn it. I want to wish peace to all of you on your journey. The Lord knows we need it. And be safe out there on those evil streets.
It's your boy. Yeah.
I'm saying, see you in the next one.
Like, my main man talk.
I guess so.
Nigga move north to Scalloway.
I guess so.
Slip same ships. Seaway.
I guess so.
Money left a man down on freeway.
I guess so, blessed by the best show. Time for a nigga to get some shit off my chest, yo. Not saying got the best flow. Phenomenon, got more brothers, Muslims, big beards, call me Ramadan. Niggas drop the